Welcome to Transform My Trading. Today is Monday, November 10th, and we're going to be covering the NQ chart today. I mainly traded off of NQ. On the right side, right here, you could see it's the 5-minute chart, and on this one here, this is the 1-minute chart of NQ. Let me just go over the lines here. The red lines are the TMT support and resistance levels. This one here. And the green ones are the TMT support and resistance angles. This dash blue line is the day session open, and the solid blue line is the overnight high. And the bottom one, there's another one at the bottom, it's the overnight low. All right, so I always put those on there. Basically, on looking at the 5-minute chart here, the market opened and started climbing higher. And it did give us several opportunities. The best one on the buy side was this. When it came, it retraced and found support at the TMT level and angle right there. That was a great buy. And then it climbed higher. It did multiple tops here. This was actually a pretty good short here. I didn't take that short. I was really looking for the market to come back up here and touch the level, and it didn't. So, which is fine. So as the market dropped, it came down and touched the day session open again. There was a scalping trade right there. Okay, it was the day session open and the angle right there. And so that was just a scalping trade because the trend was down and we weren't sure if it's going to continue or go down or higher. So, but it did continue to go further down. And, there was no reason to trade anything here. The next trade would have been when the market came back up and touched the day session open from underneath. That was a good short right there. Again, I didn't take that short. I just didn't need to, but that was a legit trade right there. What I did take is I waited for the market to come down and give me a good setup at my angle or level. In this case, it turned out to be the TMT angle. Look at how many times it touched that angle and it never broke. And we had a great divergence on RSI. And that turned out to be the low of the day, by the way. So I entered here. I did enter here and was with a small profit. I was stopped out on the rest, but then this one here was another good entry. And you got to keep in mind that when you're trying to enter the market at the bottom or trying to find reversals, you're going to be stopping out several times. So you have to mentally you have to be ready for that. If you can't do that, if that gets you out of your comfort zone, then you shouldn't be trading the reversals. Okay, you should just do continuation trades. All right, because at the edges you're going to be stopping out several times. So the next trade was when the market climbed higher. It was right here. It came back up and touched the TMT angle again and overnight high, and it dropped. We were in overbought condition on RSI, even though we didn't have a divergence, but this was an aggressive trade on the short side. It came down here. This was a continuation trade. This was a beautiful trade. For example, it came back down and touched the TMT level and started climbing back up. If you weren't comfortable taking this trade right here, you could have waited when the market broke the day session open right there and taken the trade accordingly on the long side. Okay, you could have even done it on the 5-minute, but your entry would have been much, much better on the 1-minute. All right, so market climbed higher, and then it was pretty choppy afterwards. Right here, there was no reason to trade. It did give us 2 more opportunities on the buy side when it touched the TMT angle right there and the second one right there. If you didn't take this one, but the second one was pretty good, especially the fact that RSI was in oversold condition. And then that's about it. And if you were still trading in the afternoon, there was another good trade just before the close. This was pretty good, actually. Look at how our setup is. We want to see a double top or bottom at our TMT level. And this one gave us a double top at the TMT level with a divergence on RSI. Okay, and this bar right there was a reversal bar, right? That one, and it gave us a pretty good signal to go short, and that was the last trade of the day if you were still trading back then. So you should have been done around here, by the way. The key is to create a consistent profits on a daily basis and call it a day. One of the biggest discipline factors for day traders is to learn how to call it a day. Don't turn this into your own personal casino. So, all right. So it's trade with precision, trade with consistency, and trade with intelligence. That's the key. That said, if you guys have any questions, hit me up and I'll get back to you guys. But this trading today was pretty good. Again, just based on the levels and the angle. And if you follow the structure, there we were profitable all day long. Thanks again. Look forward to talking to you.